This is a map of the Milky Way galaxy. This is our solar system right here. And if you zoom out far enough, you can see that we are in an area full of stars. And many of those stars have planets. There are countless worlds out there. So why should we care about Earth? What makes our planet so special? Well, our home is the only place that we know has life. Sure, we haven't found any little green men yet, but that doesn't mean they're not out there somewhere. For now, though, Earth is the only place we know of that has plants, animals, microbes, and us. And we got all kinds of amazing stuff on our planet, too. We have jungles, mountains, deserts, lakes, oceans, and more. We've got volcanoes, geysers, glaciers, and canyons. On Earth, we find fossils of ancient creatures that lived millions of years ago. On Earth, we have music, art, dreams, and imagination. Yeah, we've got some pretty cool stuff going on here. Hey there, it's me. Welcome to Life Noggin. All of these things make Earth unique, but what really makes our planet special is us. Earth gave us everything we needed to survive and thrive, grow, create, and spread. Sure, we've caused some problems for ourselves, but we're still here, working through them and coming up with solutions. Our planet has given us so much, and it's up to us to protect it. But let's say you're a critter living 65 million years ago. You don't know what's in store for the future, but you do know your life kinda sucks. You're living in a world that's recovering from a mass extinction. Some big things have gone extinct, including the dinosaurs. But life finds a way. New life fills the empty niches in the ecosystem, and eventually the world is thriving again. Evolution is happening all around you. Mammals are growing bigger and the world is getting greener. But even though life seems good for you, it's about to get a whole lot better. Over the next 65 million years, life on Earth will explode. Let's find out why. In order to figure out why life on Earth is so great, we have to look at the basics. First, we need water. Water covers over 70% of the Earth's surface. Plus, all the water in our bodies is literally made of it. Almost every cell in our body has a nucleus, which is like the control center. And inside that nucleus is DNA, the instructions for life. Now, DNA is basically like a long string of letters. And those letters spell out genes, which are the blueprints for how things work in our cells. Genes determine our traits, like eye color and height, and they're organized into structures called chromosomes. Most of the time, we get half of our chromosomes from mom and half from dad. This mixing of genetic material creates diversity within a population, which is important when things go awry, like when a virus comes along and tries to wipe us all out. If everyone's genes were identical, that virus would wipe us all out. But because we have differences in our genes, some people might have genes that make them less susceptible to the virus. And that means that we have a chance at surviving. Now, this genetic diversity happens in other organisms too, not just us. Take bugs, for example. Some bugs have genes that allow them to resist pesticides. That's one of the reasons that we have to keep switching up the pesticides that we use in our farms. It's a good thing that there's diversity in the bug gene pool, or we'd be fighting a losing battle against the pests. Genetic diversity also allows species to adapt to their environment. Remember the finches on the Galapagos Islands that Darwin observed? They evolved beaks that were specifically suited for the food sources on each island. No matter where you go on Earth, you can find all kinds of genetic diversity. In fact, we're kind of biased toward thinking that we're all pretty similar, but we actually share only about 98.8% of our DNA with each other. The rest of our DNA is different enough to make us unique. In fact, we share about 50% of our DNA with bananas and 60% with mice. That's because all life on Earth is related. We all have cells, we all use DNA, and we all need water to survive. It's kind of neat that we're all so similar, but also so different. And then there's the atmosphere. We all know it's important because without it, we'd all float away into space. But that's just one of the things that our atmosphere does. It also protects us from harmful radiation and helps regulate the temperature on Earth. The average temperature on Earth is about 57 degrees Fahrenheit, or 14 degrees Celsius. If Earth's average temperature were just 2 degrees higher, almost all of us would die. But if it were 2 degrees lower, we'd freeze into popsicles. Now that's assuming we didn't mess with the carbon cycle and cause massive climate change. Because Earth's atmosphere is just the way it needs to be, we can live comfortable lives. for the most part. And then there's the ozone layer. This is a region in the Earth's stratosphere with high concentrations of ozone. It absorbs most of the ultraviolet radiation from the sun, which causes skin cancer and cataracts. Before we understood how important the ozone layer was, humans released compounds into the air that ate away at the ozone layer. Thankfully, we stopped doing that. But because of the damage that was already done, scientists predict that the ozone layer won't return to its thickness in the year 2075. And this goes to show how fragile our planet is and how easily things can go wrong. It also shows that humans can cause problems for themselves. But thankfully, we're smart enough to realize when we've messed up, and we can come up with solutions to fix the issue. That's kind of a big deal. So far, we've discussed genes, cells, DNA, water, and the atmosphere. These are the basic building blocks for life. And when they all work together, we get Earth. Over the past 65 million years, life on Earth has thrived. Dinosaurs have risen and fallen. Mammals have taken over. Plants have covered the land and oxygen has filled the atmosphere. There are birds soaring through the skies, whales swimming in the seas, insects crawling across the ground, and us apes with opposable thumbs. Every organism on Earth plays a role in keeping it thriving, and we've spread across the globe. We've built homes in the mountains and under the sea. We've tamed forests and turned deserts into farmlands. We've learned to farm, mine, and drill for oil. We've created medicines and vaccines that combat diseases and extend our lives. We've traveled to the moon and explored other worlds. We've created communities and cultures. We've come up with all kinds of systems to help us keep track of time, money, and information. We've invented language and math and written down our knowledge. We've written books and made movies and developed theories to explain the universe. We've started wars and destroyed habitats and caused massive extinctions. But we've also come together to solve problems and protect our planet. We've restored habitats and cleaned up trash and figured out how to use renewable resources. We've created new technologies and medical procedures and communication networks. We've changed the face of Earth and ourselves so much that we're now in a new geological age that we call the Anthropocene. Earth is special because it's the only place we know of that has life. And life on Earth is special because of all the crazy things that happen here. We've been blessed to live in a time of peace and prosperity. We've seen amazing discoveries and technological advancements. We've gotten to see incredible works of art and music, and we've experienced all the wonderful things that come from being human. But we also have the ability to see how fragile our world is and to work together to protect it. We've seen how quickly things can go wrong and how fast life can recover. We know that we have the ability to destroy our planet and the responsibility to protect it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome that we exist, and even more awesome that we exist on this planet. Life on Earth is amazing and we're lucky to be here. But as we move forward, we have to work hard to ensure that the same can be said in the next 65 million years. Speaking of moving forward, let's talk about moving your feet. It's time for the Noggin Games. Click the link above to play. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to get more awesome videos, and be sure to visit our site for more fun stuff. As always, this has been Life Noggin. Don't forget to keep on thinking.